Hey, my name's Chris with Carolina Restoration Specialist here, doing a kind of preliminary walk around before I even get on the roof. I've already taken some drone photos, but just wanted to do a walk around. This is for Mr. Elliott. They are experiencing some leaking up around in that area, and it's leaking into the attics in those in the above the garage bedroom. So I'm gonna take a look up there. It does seem to be something maybe in that little area, but we'll see. It could be coming down from that gutter up there. It could be coming down from that top valley, riding right straight to that gutter, and then down the wall, and then collecting, and then, you know, as the story goes. But for right now, I'm just going to do a walk around the house just to document the plants and the gutter conditions and things like that. So here we go. Yeah, I'd probably cut that stuff away from there. Lots of little bushes and plants and things like that you want to definitely be careful of. Things like this, because we can't damage this stuff, so we like to make a record just in case it does get damaged. We can let the homeowner know that we did damage it, or we can prove that we didn't damage it because it was prior. So that's the only reason we do this, just to protect the homeowner as well as ourselves. Got a missing shingle right there in the middle of the roof. I don't know if you can see that. There's sandstone fence. Just a nice backyard. Swimming pool. Clearly want to keep nails out of that. Nice fence. So again, this video is just to make sure the homeowner's items and their personal property is all documented and protected, and that way we didn't do any unforeseen damage, because shingles do fall in funny ways. So little cobwebby, but don't see any damage. No shingle marks or cracks or anything in the siding. Nice little pressure wash. This whole side looked brand new. Glass already broken. I don't know if you see that glass is broken in there. Alright, I'm gonna get up on the roof and get up there and document everything. So I'm gonna pause this. I'll be right back. Alright, so I'm back. Just got my ladder set up, obviously. Always put a towel down just to make sure I don't get accused of scratching anybody's gutters or anything. So always do that, folks. Protect yourself, because you never know. I mean, you might not mean to, but the damage is there. I mean, already you can just see, you can tell an arc shingle is old and at the end of its life, because you'll start to see the filaments. See how that's there? See how it just gets frayed in the wind over time, and it just starts, like, here's a good one. See how you can see that there on the edges? Just a sign that it's old. You know, here's a good one there. And this is just me at the top of the ladder. It's just a lot of stuff everywhere. But I did bring a pitch hopper. It is a low slope, but that one ain't quite that low. And I'm a big dude, so I like to try to be careful, which is what I suggest to everybody. So as I get on, you can just see it's weathered. It's probably expected that, you know, expect some leaks. Now that shingle torn off the back, now that's a clear sign of weather damage. Apparently here's another shingle that's been, well, there's several on this side, so we do have some weather damage. Put the pitch hopper there for a second. I've got all through here. If you look at this, see, it's one thing, it's a worn shingle when the damage is on the lower end of the shingle. See how that's lower? That's just wear and tear. Okay, you see that? See how that's right there? And then, you know, see how all of those marks are all on the lower side of the shingle? That's wear and tear. That's just natural wear. Wind just doing what wind does. Here though, I'll show you the difference. Natural wear and tear, wind damage. And the reason it's wind damaged, you know, is because at some point they probably glued it back down, but this, you know, that was a crease, but they glued it back down. Somebody did. Here's another one. See that? That was an absolute break in the shingle, and somebody stuck it back down. Here's another one that actually ripped off. I'm assuming that's it. Here's a perfect example of what they call matting transfer. See, this shingle was on the ground, probably came from there or something, one of these places, because there's several shingles up there that you can see that are damaged. That one right there is wind damaged. But matting transfer, see how that is where this material used to be, and because it got torn off, it pulled this material off with it, which means this, even if still connected wherever this goes, but this is just an example, this, even if still connected, would never seal back down because the matting's gone. So that's a perfect example of matting transfer, which means that shingle can never be, you know, unless you use epoxy or whatever. But you have break there, full missing there, full missing there. There's the shingles back there in the corner. But again, the difference, wind damage, wear and tear. Wear and tear, wind damage. Wear and tear, wind damage. See how it's lower? Well, that's how you know. Those right there, unfortunately, that's all just wear and tear. But there is wind damage here. So the wind damage is in locations that start to compromise slopes such as valleys and ridges. But in any case, you know, that would be considered possibly I know that's considered even though minor, it's still a valley. But I'm going up here, so I'm going to pause this for a second so I can put it in my pocket and hold on with 2 hands. Be right back.